Hola mi gente, soy Alondra la OT, and today I'm with the lovely Sue Ram, OT doctoral student here at the AOTA headquarters, and we're going to be talking all about student involvement and leadership, so stay tuned. So before we get into this interview, it's time for Tres en 30. So that's 3 questions, 30 seconds. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, hold up. Let me get ready. Ooh, are you going to break the record? Okay. First question. Favorite leisure activity?
Sleeping.
All right. Favorite subject in school?
Subject? Writing.
Okay. And favorite place to visit?
Favorite place to visit, DC.
10 seconds. Yes. That's actually probably enough. So let's go ahead and get into this interview. So let's find out a little bit more about Sue Ram, shall we? All right, so tell everyone a little bit about yourself and how you discovered occupational therapy.
Yeah, so a little bit about myself. I am in my 3rd year of occupational therapy school. I'm in the doctorate program at Gannon University.
Okay.
And I found out about OT during my last year of undergrad. My major was in health communication, and I had a course called Communication and Disability. And I had 2 professors there, and they really told me about their personal experience with occupational therapists, and I thought, okay, that sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna apply to OT school, and then I got in, and now I'm here, almost graduating.
Yeah. Yes! It's amazing how people discover OT. It's always some roundabout way, unless they've had direct exposure to it. So now you're in your final year and you're wrapping up your last year before you graduate, and you're sitting in a new position. So what position is that?
Yeah, so the position I'm in currently is the secretary position and on the Assembly of Student Delegates Steering Committee. So the steering committee basically oversees all of the other Assembly of Student Delegates representatives for each program. So
across the country.
Yeah, across the country. So they're kind of the student voice. So whatever concerns each student representative has in their program, they relay that information back and forth to the steering committee. And it's just another place where students can have their voices heard and bounce ideas off of each other, whether it's deciding how to learn how to network or learning professional skills. So there are a lot of benefits to the position, and it's just another way to get involved with leadership.
So I imagine that you're also meeting a lot of people that are higher up in leadership, management. So that's pretty cool as well. So anyone interested in, more exposure to leadership or their association, AOTA, this is another avenue for you to get involved in.
And another thing too that I wanted to mention is that a lot of students don't realize that there are so many opportunities that AOTA provides, whether it's scholarships or internships, and these are open to OT students, whether you're in the master's program, you're in OTA program or doctorate program. So there really is something for everyone, and I think that's something that a lot of students don't realize, that it's so attainable if you, if you really, that's something that you really want to do.
Yeah, that's right. So in school, what was your involvement in any while you were in school? So still currently in school?
Yeah, I tried to really keep my time occupied by being involved. I just like to really network and get to know other students and kind of what they're doing. So I took on a leadership role within our Student OT Association.
Okay, SOTA.
With our SOTA group, and I was the Assembly of Student Delegates representative.
Okay.
And what that entails essentially is I was kind of like the middleman between our SOTA group and AOTA. So whatever concerns we had as students, we would let them know, and they would give us feedback and kind of strategies to increase engagement and fundraising. So whatever issues we had, I was kind of that middleman to relay information. And during school, I was also really involved with my state association, state OT association, so the Florida OT Association. And I'm the student resource coordinator. So what I do is I write a monthly blog post, and I have other writers as well who kind of share their experience in OT school, and that newsletter goes out to all OT students in Florida. So it's just another way to really get involved in the state level,
Right.
to really talk with other students. So that was something I was really involved with. I still work with them often, and I did a lot of volunteering with my state association. So I think the conference planning, I think that's really interesting. So I've gotten to help out with that a lot, and every year I get to do the raffle at the conference. So that's really fun. I like selling raffle tickets. That's another interest of mine. But yeah, so in terms of involvement, just a lot at the state level and working with my SOTA group, and also just presenting at conferences and conference going is just always fun, getting to meet my friends like you.
Okay, so I know many people are like, how in the world does she find the time? So how in the world did you find the time to do all of this as a student, right?
Yeah.
Because as a student, we're always so focused on our studies and getting good grades and absorbing the information and passing. But, you know, people, and which I feel sometimes prevents people from participating in other extracurricular activities. But studies have actually shown that the more you participate in extracurricular activities, you actually perform better in school. So how did you find the time to participate in other activities?
So I think for me, I think I made the time because I made it a priority to be involved. And going into OT school, and even before that, I always really thought it was good to volunteer and stay involved with my community and my school. So I think just making it a priority, it's just something like, if you make working out a priority, you make time for that. So for me, working out isn't on the top of my priorities, but
it's not on the top of mine either.
but being involved is. So I make the time for that, and whether it's something at the end of the day working on. And I think that some people think it takes like hours and hours on end to be involved, but
I know that's kind of the thought process of a lot of people. Like, this is going to take up too much time and pull me away from my studies. But
I think just a little bit of time a day dedicated to something that you want to be involved with, whether it's like putting in a proposal for a conference, like you could just work on it a little bit of time at the day, or if you want to research what activities are available for students, it just takes a few minutes every day to really incorporate that into your schedule. So I think it's just priority like anything else.
I was a co-president of our Student Occupational Therapy Association, and planning things, you know, it takes, especially when it's a bigger event, it takes a lot of time. So all we would do was just meet for like 5-10 minutes after school with the other co-presidents, and we would just start planning little things out here. So before we finish this interview, I wanted to ask, do you have any final advice or tips for aspiring OTA students?
Yeah, so for aspiring OT students, something that I found to be helpful was when you're doing your shadowing hours, to really try to do as many different settings as you can to really see, because once you get into OT school, that becomes really helpful in that period when you start school and the period before you go to your level 2 fieldworks. So shadowing in a hand clinic, doing pediatrics also, or acute care, or, you know, inpatient rehab. So I think just shadowing in a lot of different settings will really kind of give you a better glimpse of all that OT can do. And another tip too is just to really keep in touch with your professors to get letters of recommendation, and just people forget that those are really valuable resources. So don't be afraid to reach out to your teachers, and even when you get into OT school, those can become some of your like closest friends and mentors. So just really don't underestimate the value of your professors and your teachers. So
all right, so before I wrap this up and let you go, it is time for the palabra del día. So the word of the day, because this young lady is amazing, is friends, which in Spanish is amigos, okay? Or amigas.
Amigas.
We're feminine, so, or female. Okay, so amigas?
Amigas.
Easy. I know you guys have probably heard this on Dora the Explorer, so nothing new. All right, amigos. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. All right, bye. Yay. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hola mi gente, soy Alondra de la OT, and today I'm with the lovely Sue Ram, and we're going to be talking, I messed up. Hola mi gente, soy Alondra de la OT, and today I'm with the lovely Sue Ram, and we're going to be talking, Hola mi gente, soy Alondra de la OT, and today I'm with the lovely Sue Ram here at the AOTA headquarters, and we're going to be talking about, I didn't say OT doctoral student.
Oh
my God, you're in there, so yeah.
Oh, we have a little visitor here.
Isaiah, we're recording.